their own problems, right? And when people give us the answers to the problem, things are a lot more simpler than we make them. We make things look difficult. What is justice? What is justice? Anybody? What's justice? Your school. My wife may not feel the same. She works there. She may not feel the same. You might not want to say that too loud. Anybody else? What's justice? What's justice? Jim?
Fairness.
Fairness. Yes. Fairness. Yo-yo. Emily. Yo-yo was the key. A couple months ago, I had the opportunity to go to Birmingham, Alabama with a group of 40 people. Half black, half white. We had an Asian brother and a Mexican sister with us as well. And I'm being biracial, black and white father. I just trying to find myself in between the whole time, right? No, but part of what we do is we went on a journey. It's called a Sankofa journey, going back in order to move forward. And we started in Chicago, went to Birmingham, Alabama, Montgomery, ended up in Memphis, Tennessee before we got back to Chicago. We had some real hard conversations. One of the places that really hit my heart was at the Equal Justice Institute, Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know if you guys know anything about this shit. Brian Stevenson doing some great work there. Anthony Ray Hinton. Tell you about Anthony. 1985, he was mowing his mom's yard in Alabama. Mowing his mother's grass, minding his business. He was 19 years old. And all of a sudden, two white police officers come to his house. And they say, put your hands behind your back. He says, for what? They said, you're going to jail. He said, for what? They said, for attempted murder. He said, I haven't done anything. They said, it doesn't matter if you did it or not. Turn around, put the handcuffs on, you're going to jail. He said, well, can I at least go and tell my mother goodbye? They said, yeah. So he walked into the house, he told his mom what was going on, they leave, they got in the car, and they're headed to the police station. And he says, so tell me, when did this supposedly happen? They said, they gave him a time when it happened. He says, I was working. And you can ask this man if I was working at his place. They said, look, we don't care if you did it or not, you're going to jail. You're going to prison. And you're going to prison for 5 reasons. You're black, you're poor, you're going to have a white judge, you're going to have a white jury, and you're not going to find a lawyer who represents you. In the court of law, we weigh the scales of justice, right? So we're hoping that maybe there'll be some justice in this situation. So what happens is he gives them an alibi, tells them, hey, check with this guy, and they say, hey, does your mother have a gun? Or do you have a gun? He says, no. He says, but I was taught not to lie. My mother raised me in church. He said, I told my mother had a gun. I told him that my mother had a gun. And so they took him to the jail. They left, went back to mom's house and said, look, he told us that he killed somebody and he used the gun in the house. Could you give us the gun? Got the gun, took it down to the jail. They went and talked to the guy at this restaurant that he was working at. The guy said, yes, he was working. So they go back to the jail and they say, look, we're going to upgrade this from attempted murder to 2 counts of first-degree capital murder. Just like that. So what happened? Go to court, and it happened just like they said. Convicted. Death row. He spends 30 years on death row. 30 years on death row in a 5x7 cell, solitary confinement for 30 years. Brian Stevenson is a young man, a young black lawyer in Alabama, doing some phenomenal work down there. Equal Justice Institute, non-for-profit. What he's doing is he's taking young lawyers from all walks of life, training them to fight these cases and to fight this stuff, because they're doing a lot of statistics to find out that this is being done over and over. This has been done over and over and over again in the South. It's not just the South. But this is where this work's happening. So, 15 years later, they appealed it. They had to appeal it 14 times, and the state of Alabama said, no, we're not trying this. This is after they had already done the work to check the ballistics, to see the ballistics didn't match. They had because he didn't have a lawyer, he had a one-eyed civil engineer who had little training in ballistics. who said that this was the bullet. This is going to match the bullet. So 14 years of fighting this thing, Brian Stevenson fought this thing, took it to the state of Alabama finally. Alabama says he deserves another trial. So state of Alabama gives him another trial. And what happens during this time is they have to find another ballistics guy. Anthony tells Brian, he says, look, whatever lawyer you find, he's got to be white, he's got to be from Alabama, and he's got to tell the truth, the engineer, the guy who sees the bullet, the ballistics. He said he has to be white, he has to be from Alabama, and he has to tell the truth. Couldn't find one. Yeah. So what they did was they found the guy who did it the first time. Wow. Yeah. So Brian gives the case, makes the point, the guy goes and looks through the thing again, and he says, I was wrong. This is not the bullet. They free him. Exonerating him, drop the charges, right? This just happened a little over a year ago, 30 years. The state of Alabama still has not apologized to Brian, to Anthony for this. Is that justice? Is that justice? But yet, in his story, he cried, he laughed, he wasn't bitter. There was forgiveness. But yet, he moves into his mom's house. His mom has died. He moved into his mom's house as a wreck. He didn't have any money, didn't have a job. They raised some money to help him fix his mom's house up. He gets a night. He tells us a story about how he got this California, got a king bed, not just a king, but a California king. He laughs about it. Then he goes on to cry and says, I can't even enjoy it. Because for 30 years I've been in a 5x7 cell in the fetal position. It's stories like this that grab a hold of your heart and push you and motivate you to continue on in the work that God has called. And all of us, I assume that most of us are Christians in here today. And if not, it's okay. Because we all have a social responsibility. Right. Christian or not. If we are Americans, we believe in the Declaration, right? We hold these values to be true. That all men are created equal, right? And Jesus in Luke 4 talks about who he came for, right? These are the kind of people that he comes for, people who have been oppressed by systems. Right. This is what Jesus is talking about. So Christian or not, we have the same kind of responsibility. Right. There's no way out of this. And with that responsibility, there's teamwork in this. It's not just my responsibility, it's our responsibility, individually and corporately together. This is our responsibility. If we don't, who will? In Genesis, we are called to cultivate, right? Cultivate what God has given us, multiply it, take care of this what God has given, what he has entrusted with us to take care of it.